Promises made, promises kept, guys. President Trump and JD Vance are bringing it together, guys. The wins are massive. Doge cuts are official. JD Vance casting the tie-breaking vote, $9 billion more in cuts official, signed into law, including USAID losing $8 billion, NPR and PBS losing $1 billion, guys. More and more is coming. Remember, Doge cuts equate to more money in Americans' pockets, and it's officially been passed. JD Vance coming in again for the tie-breaking vote, guys. There were 10 holdouts. 10. Trump had a meeting with them. They all flipped. The great negotiator. But again, more Doge cuts means Doge dividend checks. More for our programs like Social Security and Medicare, guys. Medicaid, especially with what I'm about to tell you next, guys. Today's breaking news is just so massive. We are showing you everything, guys. Sit back, get some popcorn because the show is about to get real. Cleaning out more wasteful spending, and more is coming out that the Democrats did everything that they could to give illegal aliens priority over Americans. We just have official news, guys, that more than 3 million illegal aliens are homeowners in the United States. We're going to show you the receipts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. More than 3 million illegal aliens are homeowners in the United States. Altera Home Loans provides ITIN mortgages for those without a Social Security number. And illegals were able to get FHA loans, which are government loans for their mortgages. Guys, this money, I'm not joking, guys. This is like, when you hear this number, this tells you why we're in so much debt, what the heck is going on. Over $1 trillion with a T, guys. $1 trillion in government loans for mortgages given to illegal aliens for homes, guys. This breaking news, like when this stuff is coming out, guys, we're bringing it to you before mainstream. But why in the world would they do this? How in the world can you get a home without a Social Security number? It just blows my mind, but they did it. The next big news is President Trump has already drafted a letter to fire Jerome Powell, and reports say he showed the Republicans the letter in a meeting yesterday. Jerome Powell said, and I quote, "We are not planning on doing anything." So Trump says he's got to go. Trump's economy needs someone who will help lower the interest rates to boost the economy so that people can buy homes, people can buy cars, get loans, and make the economy grow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because our interest rates, Trump says he wants them 2-3% for people. This would change everything right now. And guys, again, Trump is not slowing down. He has officially set the new probe into the Biden autopen use during his presidency. Guys, listen to this. Officials expect the White House counsel's office to review more than 1 million documents related to the Biden's use of autopen. 1 million documents that they used with the autopen tied to it, guys. This is like insane what the breaking news we're bringing to you today, but it shows that the use of the autopen to sign a slew of documents while Biden was in office was used for pretty much everything. They used the autopen to sign all the final pardons, including the preemptive pardons for his family, his Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and members of staff, and the House committee investigating the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots. Listen to this, guys. He only signed one pardon by hand for his son Hunter after he vowed to the American people for months he would not do so. So now the officials for the White House counsel, the lawyers, the legal, are going to review more than 1 million documents related to the Biden's use of autopen. Guys, so much breaking news today, guys. We're bringing all the receipts. So much is going on. We are here for it. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Y'all are awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family. We want you here. We want to serve you with the top news every day, guys. We are living through some history right now, and a lot of things are changing, and we want to bring the receipts. We want to bring the truth so that you are fully informed. I want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel and those that give a super chat donation. Thank you so much, guys. In just a couple of days, we're donating live on stream to a local charity with your support. When you're a member or you give a super chat, chat. Y'all show Elaine Demeen some love in the chat, guys. OG of the channel. Show Elaine some love. I love it. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys, it helps out so much with our shows and getting out there. We want to bring the truth, bring the receipts, guys, because Trump finally, him and J.D. Vance working together, because it was J.D. Vance's vote, got passed the Doge cuts, the first one that came through, almost $10 billion in cuts. Praise the Lord, guys. I'm telling you, if we get more Doge cuts, this is where they said, this is where the Doge dividend checks come from. This is where the Social Security increases, the Medicare, the Medicaid, everything that I'm seeing is we've got to cut more of the wasteful spending. But we got a ton of breaking news to get into today. Let me know your thoughts, guys, because I'm telling you, this whole 3 million illegal aliens who are homeowners taking $1 trillion worth of government-funded loans, you can't make this stuff up. We're bringing you everything, guys. Check this out.
A message has been sent to Washington that whatever information the government has on wealthy financier and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and anyone else who abused underage girls with him, well, Trump supporters want all of that made public. And tonight it is clear that message was heard over the last couple of days. Earlier today on the White House lawn, the president showing his support for his Attorney General Pam Bondi, but also making it very clear that any information that is credible about any of this should be released to the American public. Take a listen.
She's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
Whatever is credible should be released. He knows this has become a key issue with the people who support him the most, have supported him for the past 9 years. He sounded different today. House Speaker Mike Johnson will be critical in whether or not Ghislaine Maxwell can testify in front of Congress on all of this.
This is huge.
And he and Congressman James Comer sounding very much the same. The head of the Oversight Committee, Comer, indicating full support for Maxwell to testify. They both say they want transparency from the government on Jeffrey Epstein.
It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide. I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And you know, Pam Bondi, she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved.
Best advice for Pam Bondi is what? Very quickly.
Take the ball and run with it. People want to see accountability. There have been a lot of investigations. The deep state has been exposed thanks to Radcliffe and Kash Patel. Let's start prosecuting these people. Let's set some examples out of some people.
Let's go. That's what we want. We want prosecutions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because, guys, this is beautiful right here, that the Doge cuts have officially been passed with J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. This is one of the things Trump promised. Promises made, promises kept on cutting wasteful spending. $9 billion in cuts, including USAID losing $8 billion, and NPR and PBS losing $1 billion. This is what I'm talking about, baby. But again, people want the drain the swamp. They want to clean out transparency. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because I'm telling you, people are showing that they care just as much about these Epstein files being released as they care about these Doge cuts. Let me know where you stand at, guys, because what you're going to be seeing next, people want to see everything. They don't want anything held back. Brad Samuel, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He said Epstein's lawyers admitted that 2 judges in New York are keeping everything from being released. Man, y'all show Fred some love in the chat. Guys, I'm telling you, the deeper that we dig into all this, we're starting to see that people are wanting Trump to just, hey, whoever is on the list, let him have it. Put him in jail. See people prosecuted. How many times do we see people come forth, nobody goes to jail? People are tired of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate that. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, because what you're about to hear next is huge.
Pressure appears to be working. We're hearing things sounding pretty good. Again, this is what MAGA voters voted for. A government for the people, where the rich and the powerful get the same justice as the rest of us. You may have noticed the Epstein story was almost nowhere to be found, though, on Fox News these last couple of days. After months of very consistent coverage, And over the weekend, Turning Point founder Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly spent a lot of time talking about Epstein at the TPUSA event in Florida. It sounded like this.
Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
I've got to be honest, I blame Pam Bondi.
Ooh.
She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Her words on the record on Fox News are diametrically opposed to what she put in this memo. She's embarrassed the president. She's embarrassed herself.
So we saw that moment over the weekend. That was a big moment. And then on Monday, you heard Charlie Kirk say the administration that he trusted the administration to do what's right and said that he was done talking about this issue.
Guys, and again, I show you everything. I don't hold back. Trump came out, and this is what he said, and we got it highlighted in red for you, that the radical left Democrats have a hit pay dirt again, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the laptop from heck. The Dems swore that there was nothing to do with Hunter Biden and all the stuff that happened at the White House and drugs, the crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in 2016 presidential election. I want you to listen to this and let me know your thoughts, guys, because again, I'm just reading what Trump said. Let me know how you feel about what Trump said. He said, their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past, in capital letters, my past supporters have bought into this BS hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned the lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. So Trump is saying that there is essentially no Epstein list, but there is files that he wants to be released, and he's telling everybody that his past supporters do not fall for this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because we got a lot of wins today, but I'm going to show you everything. I'm not going to hold back, guys. We bring you the full breaking news. This just came out moments ago from Trump. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Of Jeffrey Epstein. Well, today, Charlie went back on and said he only meant he was done talking about it in yesterday's show, indicating that he will continue to push on this issue and to push it forward and push for transparency on all of this. So it's pretty obvious that a lot of people don't really know what to do with this. There's a lot of people that are very scared because it's clear that the White House didn't want this to be a subject, but Trump's base, his supporters and base, care about it. And so there was a bit of a conflict there. And a lot of TV hosts are terrified of what to say and how to say it because they don't want to lose their audience and they don't want to piss off the White House at the same time. So it becomes a bit of a catch-22. Fox host Laura Ingraham, who's on at the same time as me, thanks for watching my show, talked quite a bit about Epstein this weekend at the Turning Point event. And then last night on her show basically went dark on the subject, mentioning it only with disdain for about 2 seconds.
Now, as conservative influencers were eating their own about Epstein, the president was stealing the show on the 1-year anniversary of the day he almost lost his life.
That was it.
I'm telling you, when you start hearing these people calling each other out, you start knowing that something's trying to be hidden. I want to show you this, guys, because I told you it was passed. More Doge cuts equal more Doge dividend checks equal more increases to Social Security and all those things. And I want to show you again another win that just happened today. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Air Force Secretary Troy Mink just announced they have ended 500 contracts worth $10 billion with Doge. So we just ended the thing that passed through the House. That was around $10 billion. Got another $10 billion from the defense. This is $20 billion essentially in one day, guys, in 24 hours. This is what we this is what we voted for. Promises made, promises kept. I'm showing you the receipts, guys, right here. 500 contracts ended. 500 contracts were $10 billion with Doge. We're keeping up with everything because when they told us that more was coming, there we are bringing the receipts that it actually is. But there's still so much breaking news, guys. I just got to show you everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
There was a little bit of it on Bret Baier's show, Special Report. Otherwise, it was completely blacked out of the network. That came from somewhere, obviously. There's a pressure point, and then it was hit. Meanwhile, Democrats are humiliating themselves trying to score a cheap political win out of all of this. fanning the flames of a MAGA mutiny that they perceive here as everyone tries to figure out what to do about Epstein, pretending they care about any of this after ignoring all of it while Biden was in power and had the ability to just release all these files himself. Take a listen.
The American people deserve to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as it relates to this whole sordid Jeffrey Epstein matter.
I think we should be releasing the files right now. We need to get the information right now.
It is dangerous to public health and safety not to release the names publicly.
Oh, so now we're very interested in full transparency.
Guys, and I'm telling you, everybody wants full transparency right now. Let me know your thoughts. I want it too. Matt Walsh came out. This is a huge conservative, guys, and almost every other conservative out there is saying this. Just like Robert Cash, thank you so much for the support, brother, in the super chat, said, MAGA, we want accountability and the truth. Matt Walsh came out and said, we want those people to be dragged in front of us, weeping and begging for mercy. Millions of Americans are not satisfied with what we've been told, and we shouldn't be. So again, guys, I'm sure, like, this is what I love. This is why I love doing this, because what you're about to see next is now we're looking at the polling. We're bringing in the best of the best when it comes to Rasmussen polling. They've been polling every day on how people feel about this, what they feel about what Trump is saying. And guys, this could be a deal breaker for the Trump administration for the midterms if this doesn't get addressed properly, guys. I want you to see this because this is massive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Ability to articulate, like very few in polling can, what really the MAGA movement is thinking about at the time and where it's headed. You've done some polling on this specific topic, and in fact, I just saw some I guess YouGov economist polling that looks like it lays right on top of yours, is quite close to it. Can you walk us through what you're finding out about this Epstein situation and the MAGA base?
Yeah, but before I get into that polling, I just want to start at a high level and say Donald Trump came in with really great approval numbers. He's brought a lot of foreign investment back to the United States. He just signed his signature legislation less than 2 weeks ago, and it's the summer. The Democrats are imploding. He took out the Iranian nuclear weapons program, which was insanely popular. And so where his approval rating should be right now is soaring. And it's not. It's plunging. It's 1 point away from the lowest net approval rating that he's had this entire cycle. And the last time he had a rating, it was -5, was back in April. That was when the market imploded 15%. So people are trying to say this isn't a big deal. People are trying to say nobody wants this Epstein information out. It's an absolute misdirection. This is horrifying. And if it isn't corrected, it threatens derailing Trump's agenda, getting rid of his political capital. If this isn't fixed, this might hang over Trump's administration. It could be his Afghanistan going into the fall with Democrats still pounding away. How come you flip-flopped on Epstein? And they are, in my opinion, there are some very easy fixes. But I just want to get to the polling now, and this is brutal. When I got these crosstabs back, hang on 1 second. I just want to go back to your opening. Given the role he's been on, and the run he's been on, and particularly the other day, even the media was saying they've never seen a president on this kind of run, and it kind of kicks off the summer. Where there's less interest in politics, but it's just his momentum's building. You would have anticipated with landmark legislation, with although we didn't like the involvement in Iran, he did dramatically end the 12-day war and didn't have regime change. I mean, everything he's doing is kind of clicking. Just that being, if this hadn't come up a Sunday a week ago, what would you have anticipated his polling? Where would you see the trend line going? Where would you see his polling going on a national basis and with the MAGA movement? Well, just talking about his job approval rating, he hit net +8 June 15th, which was also, I will admit, the first day that Israel attacked Iran. I think it was June 13th. And it's been downhill since then. So he's lost 12 points now. He's underwater.
So you see that, guys. He's lost 12 points in the voting, in the polling, because of this whole thing. Even though, guys, so much wins. This is what kills me. We have so much wins that it's all being subverted. People are not focusing on it, and it's hurting because they won't do whatever they need to do with these Epstein files. But even what I'm showing you on the screen, guys, look at this. This is how much Trump is trying to show everybody, hey, we're trying to expose the corruption, the fraud, and the abuse. And Trump is saying you're looking at the wrong thing. White House investigating Biden's use of the autopen in a sprawling probe of incompetent and senile former president. Officials expect the White House counsel's office to review more than 1 million documents related to Biden's use of the autopen. Guys, 1 million documents. If you appreciate all this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. But this is where, again, too, I'm showing you that Trump is trying to get the corruption out, get the fraud out, the waste and the abuse out. But when he says things like this is what, again, is like a slap in the face of, he says their new scam, he's talking about the Democrats' new scam, is what we'll forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this BS hook, line, and sinker. Guys, this sucks, to be honest with you. And what you're about to hear next, I'm just bringing you the truth. Because even when it comes to, this, all the stuff that they're revealing, look, 3 million illegal aliens are homeowners. This company, Altera Homes, provides IT and mortgages for those without social security numbers. And illegals were able to get FHA government loans. Guys, the total amount of this home loans to illegal aliens is over $1 trillion. So we're cutting out all the fraud, waste, and abuse. We're doing all this stuff. But it's all being hidden because of this Epstein thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because what you're about to hear next is massive.
4 points. People who've been following us know that we've been putting out a chart pretty much daily that overlays all of the presidential net approvals going back to Obama 1. And where I was going into July 4th was, I said, well, Trump's probably a day or two away from crossing over Obama's numbers. And where are we now? Donald Trump is crossing under Joe Biden's numbers. And so that's a pretty big reversal in less than a week. And the biggest news, that I can attribute to this, it's like maybe people have heartburn that the one big beautiful bill was, the messaging was a bit of a mess. It doesn't cut enough. Maybe it's the news that Republican establishment is playing footsie with amnesty because of all the people who love slave labor. But the big one is Epstein, and people keep downplaying it. But this is not about a guy who died in 2019. This is about a representation of two-tier justice and about unaccountable government. And I don't think, listen, back in March, or it was the end of February, voters were let down on the Epstein thing too, but that's because they thought Trump was, okay, he'll just bring it later. It's been a campaign promise, and I know that he didn't specifically quote it very many times, but this has been basically a proxy for government accountability and redress for the deep state. And so what happened, in my opinion, in the last few days is there was a major rug pull, and it's affecting his polling. Now, what do I think might happen? I think his approval will probably recover somewhat. I don't think he's going to be as poorly reviewed as Joe Biden, and I don't think that this is big as Afghanistan. But the problem is that this is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. The Democrats are going to keep talking about it because they need something to talk about. And Democrats are +2 on the generic ballot right now. And so if Donald Trump is going to reverse the historical tendency of the out-of-power party regaining the Senate and the House, he can't just be kicking around at 48% and go into 2026 with a whole lot of open questions about strong campaign promises.
Yep.
And again, I think there's an easy way to reverse this, and I hear some people talking about it, but the Epstein polling is horrifying. Like, I haven't seen numbers.
Guys, let me show you this, because this just came out minutes ago from the leading report. We bring you all the breaking news, guys. President Trump just said that people demanding the Jeffrey Epstein files to be released are stupid and foolish. Guys, I've got the video we're going to show you in a moment, but this is like, what the heck? Oh my goodness. Mike Sobchinski, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I only trust Jesus and government sucks. It kind of feels like it right now. Y'all show Mike some love in the chat, as well as Paulette Laster. Y'all show Paulette and Mike some love in the chat, guys. Again, he's going through this interview. He just said that President Trump says people demanding the Jeffrey Epstein files to be released are stupid and foolish. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What is going on, guys?
He's brutal. If you want me to get to the crosstabs, it's I
want you to go to the crosstabs. No, go to the crosstabs. We want to see the receipts here.
Okay, this is all taken after the announcement that there was nothing to see here, case closed. We saw the video. He did not get murdered. Voters aren't buying it. They think Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah, new breaking news on that video. It was actually 2 minutes in like 3 seconds that were removed, that they found out were removed from the video and edited out. So more breaking news is coming from that on the Epstein cell video. It's all a big mess, guys.
Murdered, 47% to 31% suicide. Only 33% of Republicans, even though the Trump administration said so, only 1/3 of Republicans said that he committed suicide, 27% of independents. This one's even worse. The FBI and the Federal Department of Justice have been recently concluding an investigation which found that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide and that the Epstein client list, that Epstein did not keep a client list of men involved in sex trafficking operation. Do you believe the FBI and the Department of Justice are telling the truth about Epstein? 21% yes. This is
guys, again, 21% say that they actually believe what we're being told by the FBI and the CIA. Again, all this breaking news that's coming out, guys, over the past 24 hours. Speaker Mike Johnson says he supports Ghislaine Maxwell testifying to Congress and demands the DOJ release everything they have on Epstein. He said, I'm for transparency. We should put, let me pull him up, his face, guys. He said, we should put everything out there and let the people decide. Pam Bondi needs to come forward and explain it to the American people. Let's get this thing resolved. So again, Ghislaine Maxwell has come out and officially said this was Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman who basically ran his entire operation. Now wants to testify. Everybody's saying this, because let me know your thoughts on this, that this is a Democrats' move to try and destroy and put Trump on it, to make it look like he was a part of it, to destroy his legacy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because again, too, guys, it just doesn't look good how much we're seeing this being held back.
On things like the weaponized Department of Justice, on things like the FBI, raiding Mar-a-Lago.
Way back to Obama's term, correct?
Absolutely, yep.
And people have used that as a gauge. You guys have been extraordinarily accurate. And you can see inflection points, particularly when you say like Afghanistan, there's inflection points in a presidency that you can go back later and see in your tracking poll where it hit. You made a comment that on July 4th, around July 4th, that President Trump was close to passing Obama on the tracking poll. Was Obama was he at the highest? Is he like a standard for you guys to look at? And why was that important that President Trump was close to, you thought within 2 days would pass that?
Well, it bucks the historical trend of this idea of a summer of disillusionment where people were promised a whole lot of things on the stump and then realized that the establishment candidates can't actually come in and change anything. And what's changed over time is that Obama came in with a really, really, really high honeymoon. It was in the 60s, almost 70%. But of course, by the summer, he was kicking around in the high 40s. That's happened to every president, but they've come in with lower and lower honeymoons. That happened to Trump. He came in with a 53, it got up to a 55, and he's been doing all right. Net +2, net +3 on average, keeping the supporters, picking up a little bit support from the fall. And you look at it and say, well, there's really nothing major that can happen here. They already threw every hoax in the world against this guy, and the Democrats are in complete disarray. So short of some kind of black swan, some kind of economic implosion, some kind of, World War III kicking off in a way that he was unable to control, he's been on the world stage for 10 years. He's Teflon Don. People basically know who he is. And so for all of a sudden, an unforced error, and I really think it is, an unforced error comes like this and just steals his thunder. We had our June economic confidence index was the highest print that we've had since the summer of 2021. Our unemployment rate that we measure every month is going down. there's all of these reasons that people should be positive, and what is everybody going to talk about probably for months is this Epstein thing. And it's also because there's just so many obvious gaslighting and fake logic. And listen, this is not about the list. People don't want to see the list. The reason they're asking the list is because they don't trust the FBI anymore to do investigations. This is the FBI that under Biden, a majority of people said was Joe Biden's personal Gestapo. And so this is the part that I don't think the Trump administration appreciates. This was an election. People say, oh, it's the economy. No, it was an election about institutional trust. And the death of the American dream. And
guys, again, too, if you appreciate what we're showing you guys, because this is big, big stuff. Trump's trying to clean house. Everything that we're showing you is about putting American first. Trump has drafted a letter to fire Fed chair and asked Republicans if he should. The president waived a copy of a draft letter firing Jerome H. Powell at a meeting in the Oval Office with House Republicans. Like all this stuff, guys, right here, Trump wants to put America first. Jerome Powell's not doing that. He's keeping interest rates high, and it's hurting the American people. People are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars more for everything that they shouldn't be paying for, but they are. If you appreciate what Trump is trying to do, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, we're trying to show you, like, again, the wins are stacking up for Trump exponentially. But it's this stupid Epstein thing that keeps bringing the overall just view down. Man Samsung, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, I'm over it. The list as we know it will not be released. So what now? Do we abandon Trump and let the Dems win the midterms? We need to focus on what matters now. I agree 100%. Fred Samuel, thank you so much, brother. He said, we keep our focus on the wins and we will win the midterms. We have to stay united. Y'all show Fred and Man Samsung some love in the chat because, again, too, the thing about it is we don't trust the FBI. We don't trust the CIA. I don't even trust Congress, guys. I don't trust the Senate. I trust Trump's cabinet team because they're the ones that are actually making change. But we've got so much deep staters, and if we don't win the midterms, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder for Trump to continue cleaning out the deep state. Let me know your thoughts.
30% trust the federal government. Strong majority think the DOJ was weaponized. 72% are concerned we're living in a police state. We have these numbers over and over again. And a really big one, how important is the rule of law, ensuring public officials are held to the same standard of justice as other citizens. 94% important, 82% very important. That's as close as it gets to 100. You wouldn't see somebody like oxygen wouldn't even get 82% very important. So this idea of two-tier justice is just absolutely an anathema to people, and we're going to be talking about it. That's the problem. And how do they get rid of this? They have an $11 billion a year Federal Bureau of Investigation. Where are the investigations? Just because we have new people at the head of these administrations is not enough to restore public trust. The trust in these institutions was destroyed under Biden. It takes extraordinary transparency, in my opinion, to give that trust back to voters. You can't just say nothing to see here. Trust me, bro, is not going to work to restore trust. Ooh. It should be, hey, this week we're launching this investigation. Yes. Here's how many agents are on. Here's the general plan of attack. Here's where you're going to hear something about it. Like, it's not about going on Fox News. It's about having this substance. So here's the thing. I mean, if people hang on one second. Want to see accountability, investigate them.
Guys, this is the thing. There is only certain people that we can trust right now that are actually pushing forward with Trump's agenda, that are actually pushing forward with holding people accountable. And when it comes to these wins, guys, this is real stuff. You know, the Doge cuts are official, with J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. $9 billion in cuts, including USAID losing $8 billion, NPR and PBS losing $1 billion. Remember, once Trump's out, if we get a Democrat president, there's still $51 billion that are there for USAID. So again, there's so much work that has to be done, but who I'm about to show you next is one of those that I feel like is a true patriot who's going after the corruption, the fraud, the waste, the abuse. Because again, too, if we don't call them out, if we don't hold them in contempt of Congress, they will always keep continuing ripping off the American people, guys. Check this out.
Who is the Southern Poverty Law Center?
Southern Poverty Law Center is a far-left radical activist group that routinely smears conservative and Christian organizations, putting them on a map with the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, first of all, does the Southern Poverty Law Center partner with the Open Society Foundation?
Yes, the Southern Poverty Law Center received $75,000 from foundation to promote Open Society.
And the Open Society Foundation gets money from the American taxpayers, is that right?
No, the Open Society Foundation does not. There was an arm of the Open Society Foundation that is now closed that received a large number. Yes.
They did get. Okay. And as you pointed out, the Southern Poverty Law Center labels a lot of conservative groups as hate groups.
Yes, right? Including Focus on the Family this year.
Focus on the Family, Alliance Defending Freedom, Family Research Council, Center
USA.
for Immigration Studies, Moms for Liberty. Moms are now a hate group?
Yes, they put Moms for Liberty on there. They actually said that they compared them to the Uptown Klan of the 1950s.
And you know what's interesting? I found this. We made an issue of this, and thank goodness it stopped with our new Justice Department. But in the old Justice Department under Mr. Biden, there was this. You may remember this memorandum put out by the Richmond FBI field office. You remember this, Mr. O'Neill? Yeah, yes. And do you know when they talked about traditional Catholics were extremists? Do you know who they cited in the footnote in this? I got the actual FBI memorandum. You know who they cited in that memorandum?
The Southern Poverty Law Center.
The Southern Poverty Law Center. Go figure. Okay, how about this? Who's the Tides Foundation?
They're the oldest dark money pass-through organization. They pioneered the process that now Arabella Advisors has perfected.
And I think in your testimony I'm looking at, you said there's various, the Service Employees International Union gave money to a group that then gave money to the Tides Foundation. Is that true?
No, the SEIU gave directly to
they gave directly.
Advocacy and the Tides Foundation, yes.
Yeah, and then I think also in your testimony you point out that the Tides Foundation not only got money from left-wing union groups, but they also got money directly from the taxpayers through USAID. Is that right?
Correct. It was $27 million.
$27 million.
It was awarded. Not all of those grants were fulfilled.
And
so we're sending 27 guys, all this stuff that we're catching. I told you guys, we're going to show you everything, the Doge cuts, everything that's happening. We are exposing the fraud, the waste, and the abuse, and it's all tied to so many of these dang organizations getting tens of millions of billions of dollars of your hard-earned tax money that needs to go back to you. And look at this breaking news just minutes ago. Federal Chair Jerome Powell is under investigation for fraud per POTUS. Federal Chair Jerome Powell is under investigation for fraud per the President of the United States of America. Guys, I'm telling you, I hope you appreciate this. We always bring you the breaking news throughout our shows because we want to make sure that you are fully informed. But this is disgusting what we're hearing, that these dark money groups have been using taxpayer funds to funnel their agenda.
What's the Tides Foundation up to? What kind of crazy things are they doing with taxpayer money and left-wing employee union money? What are they doing?
Bankrolling the Southern Poverty Law Center for one. They also have an in-house nonprofit called Palestine Legal.
So Tides Foundation gets a boatload of taxpayer money. People I get the privilege of representing from the 4th District of Ohio, some of their money is going to the Tides Foundation. That is then going to the Southern Poverty Law Center, where they can label moms as terrorists and say that if you're a Catholic, you're an extremist. That all happens with American tax dollars. Is that right?
We don't have concrete proof of the fact of the Tides Center receiving money that they then gave to the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Money is fungible. We're not.
So your overall point is 100%.
Okay. So that's all happening here in the United States, but it's even worse, right? Because the Tides Foundation also gets involved, Mr. Gonzalez was pointing to this, gets involved overseas as well. And one of the things we know they're doing, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. O'Neill, that we know they're doing is they're taking some of that money to undermine our allies and friends like Prime Minister Netanyahu in the state of Israel. Is that right?
Well, one of the big things they have is an in-house nonprofit representing anti-Israel rioters on college campuses called Palestine Legal.
Yeah.
So yes.
So they're doing it here and there, undermining Israel here and there, anti-Semitic activity here on our campuses, all with American tax money.
God,
wow.
You can't make this crap up. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, Thank you so much, Jocelyn Street, for the super chat. Says, MAGA, let's go. I love it. Y'all show Jocelyn some love in the chat. Show Tiffany Yen for the super chat some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Again, taxpayer money that is constantly being used to undermine our government, our America First policies being funneled through USAID, through all these entities, guys. This is the stuff that this is why I appreciate it so much when you share our videos, guys. You like our videos because we need to get this out there. You're not going to see this on mainstream, but this is what's happening in real life with our dang money, and I'm sick of it, guys. I'm sick of seeing seniors suffer. I'm sick of seeing people that should be taken care of, like homeless veterans, suffer whenever our money is being used for nefarious reasons. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah.
Wow. And the other side says, again, Mr. Van Drew shouldn't be having this hearing. Are you kidding me? American tax dollars used to say moms are terrorists, we're going to go after pro-life Catholics, and our best friend internationally, our best ally, the state of Israel, we're going to undermine their government while we're at it. Such a deal for the taxpayers, huh?
On the point from Ranking Member Raskin, he noted that George Soros does not have power. Alex Soros was asked if he would run for office, and he said that he would not because he believes that as head of the Open Society Foundations, he has more power than he ever would if he had any office in the land.
Well, based on what we just described, it sure looks like they got a lot of influence. And all we're saying is maybe we shouldn't send American tax dollars to these organizations that are undermining American taxpayers. Wow. And somehow we're not supposed to have this hearing. I yield back.
Guys, y'all hear that? Again, it's like the Democrats are trying to stop everything from being exposed. President Trump said he's likely to fire Federal Chair Jerome Powell. Guys, all this stuff of all the hindrance of America First policies just continues to come back, and we're exposing everything, guys. Because again, too, you don't get away from what I'm about to show you right here. More than 3 million illegal aliens are homeowners. And I'm going to say that again, guys, because it's so insane to even say. More than 3 million illegal aliens are homeowners. Altera Home Loans provides ITIN mortgages for those without a social security number. And illegals were able to get FHA loans, which are government-funded loans. This came from Scott Turner, this is Trump's HUD secretary. This is what they're cleaning out, guys. This is over $1 trillion in money that's been given to illegal aliens. And a lot of people say, oh, well, what if they're paying it back? It doesn't matter. The Democrats circumvented and created a loophole, or for some reason allowed for our taxpayer dollars to go to illegal aliens when our taxpayer dollars needs to go to Americans. Help Americans buy homes. Are you kidding me? This is where, again, too, Democrats have been, and I'll say this too, a lot of Republicans have just screwed over Americans for so long. They're losing their base. We're exposing everything. And even right here, guys, this is a longtime person that I believe in, is a true patriot, but golly, when you hear of what has been going on, it just blows your mind that this is a reality in America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
You know, Donald Trump, I think, has had one of the most dynamic 6 months, and will be at the 6-month mark in 5 days that he's been president, now his second term. The most dynamic 6 months, transformational, consequential, that I've seen in my lifetime, maybe since FDR, maybe even more than FDR. You're the historian, I'll let you decide. And then you compare it to what the Democrats are becoming. What do you see?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think you're right that President Trump certainly has matched and may well have surpassed Franklin Roosevelt's first 6 months in office. It's been at least 30% more than I thought was possible when he won back in November. So it's a remarkable run. Second, the Democrats, I think, have trapped into two things. One is they hate Trump so much that they're incoherent and they run in circles and do stupid things. And then second, they have moved even further to the left. I mean, Mandami, as a Uganda-born Indian American who is a genuine Marxist, who says stupid things like he doesn't like billionaires. Well, who's he going to tax to get the money for all of his free goodies? Because the billionaires are all going to leave. And you watch Mondami, you think, this is a man who's going to turn New York into Caracas. And I think for the country, if that's the future of the Democratic Party.
I'm sorry.
I'm really serious. You take all.
I know you're serious. He sounds like he is a Marxist, a statist. I mean, it's straight out of Marxism 101.
He is in a great tradition. Juan Perón, who destroyed the Argentinian economy, Fidel Castro, who destroyed the Cuban economy, Hugo Chavez, who destroyed the Venezuelan economy. And these are people who've been brainwashed. These aren't educated young people. These are brainwashed young people. They believe things that are stupid because that's what Harvard and Princeton and Yale and elsewhere taught them. And so they walk around going, oh, yes, we can have grocery stores run by the government. That'll be terrific. We can have free buses. That'll be wonderful. We can have rent control, even though rent control has destroyed housing in New York. We could have more rent control. You go down the list of what he wants to do, and you realize these are people who live outside of reality. They live in a fantasy world. And the result's going to be, I think, for the whole country, a great education in why the Democratic Party is no longer an acceptable alternative to run the country.
Okay, so it seems like if you even wanted to be a rational, reasonable, traditional, mainstream Democrat, the people, to be honest, that you work with, I mean, Bill Clinton said these words: the era of big government is over, the end of welfare as we know it. Right. After Hillary care bombed, you know, he got serious. He dealt with you. You guys balanced the budget 4 or 5 years in a row, whatever it was. And it hasn't been balanced since. Although, I don't know if you saw, June was the 4. Okay, thank you. I can count. June was the first time in 20 years that the U.S. federal government had a surplus. A surplus.
Guys, and again, this is the wins that it literally gets overshadowed by so much of this other crazy stuff that's happening today. But I wanted to show you this because remember, guys, it's all about the truth. It's all about bringing the facts. PPI inflation falls to 2.3%, beating expectations of all, guys. This is the big words, of all 50 forecasters in Bloomberg's survey. So I don't want to hear it. When it comes to these experts that have never run a business, never built an economy, never actually been in a place where they created jobs or handled something as big as Trump has handled to try to come and say how things should be. Trump knows what the heck he's doing. He just announced yesterday that in total we've got $15 trillion in investments coming into the United States. And now that we see, and this is from, guys, this is from Bloomberg's survey. This is from people that would never align with Trump. But all 50 forecasters were wrong when it came to Trump's economy and what Trump is doing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because this is big. Fred Samuel, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He said, welcome to reality. Our tax dollars are being used directly against the American citizens, and it sucks because we have the evidence that it actually is. Y'all show Fred some love in the chat. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys. We are showing you everything today. So much breaking news is going on, but we are here for it.
That shocked me. That made me pretty happy. I'd actually like to stop robbing from our children.
Look, Sean, I have advice for moderate Democrats. Become Republicans. You have no future in the Democratic Party. So if you truly believe your values, if you're not insane, if you're not a Marxist, if you don't believe in radical left-wingism, become a Republican, because there's no room left for you in the Democratic Party, and you're not going to be acceptable to the Mondami AOC wing of the party.
All right, you've known Chuck Schumer a long time. I don't know how long you've known Hakeem Jeffries, but you know generally the more establishment Democratic leadership. I think they're just petrified and absolutely impotent in terms of dealing with this radical rise in their party. And to be honest, if Chuck Schumer gets challenged in a primary by AOC, he's going to get smoked. He's going to lose by historic margins. He was down to 17% in terms of his approval rating. He's done. He's cooked. Any influence he thinks he might have had, I think it's over. Am I wrong?
No, look, I think the Schumer's problem is that he's both out of his time. He's 20 years behind the real world. And he looks at it and he feels it, and he's not getting anything done. But in addition, Hakeem Jeffries' problem is you do an 8-hour and 40-minute filibuster as though you're in the Senate. Nothing changes. You tell a whole bunch of lies. Large parts of his speech was just not true. And what's he going to do? They're both going to meet with Mandami, and my prediction is they're both going to endorse Mandami. Now, at that point, they have the two top Washington leaders of the Democratic Party will have accepted a Marxist, socialist, radical left-winger as the titular head of their party in a way which I think is going to put them into a tiny minority, maybe for a generation.
So they'll endorse the global intifada Marxist. Wow. That should be a sight to see.
How do they avoid, Sean, how do they avoid it? He won the Democratic primary. He is their nominee.
They're scared to death. They're petrified.
The literally socialist is taking over New York. And guys, this is trying to happen across all the blue states. But again, what they're most afraid of, guys, is what you're seeing on the screen. White House investigating Biden's use of the autopen, sprawling probe of incompetent and senile former president. Officials expect the White House counsel's office to review more than 1 million documents related to the Biden's use of autopen. Are you even kidding me, guys? That this is actually a reality that we're living today, that there was over 1 million documents related to the autopen use from the Biden administration. This is how deep it's getting, guys. This is how real it's getting. And everything that we're showing you, I'm showing you across the board. I've shown you different polls, but even with what you're about to see right here, it's all going to go back to the midterms. If we don't fix this thing with the Epstein stuff, this will easily flip around. But Trump has been doing such a phenomenal job that where we're tracking for the midterms is 100% for a red wave. But that's what we need in order to put America first for a long, long time. Listen to this.
The bottom line is this. Democrats are behind their 2006 and 2018 paces when it comes to the generic congressional ballot. What are we talking about here? All right, the Democrats versus the Republicans on the generic congressional ballot, the margins. Look at where we are now. Democrats are ahead, but by just 2 points. Look at where Democrats were already ahead by in 2017. They were behind by 7 points. How about 2005 on the generic congressional ballot? Ahead by 7 points, ahead by 7 points. And now they're only ahead by 2 points. Their lead is less than half of where it was in either 2017 or 2005 in July of those years, the year before the midterm election. Yes, Donald Trump may be unpopular, but Democrats have not come anywhere close to sealing the deal at this particular point.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Wave looks very different.
Yes.
All right, this is the generic ballot test. This is when you test people in a generic question. Of course, the House races aren't generic. There are 435 of them. What happens when you go race by race?
What happens when you go race by race? Well, it's the same idea. Okay, House seat ratings with the GOP president, like back in 2005.
Let's
of course,
go,
2017.
baby.
More net pickup seat chances. Well, last time around, look at that.
Again, guys, we're showing you the facts. Like I show you from all different networks because I'm showing you that right now Trump is doing such a phenomenal job. We're looking at a red wave. We just have to keep it going till next year.
Democrats were ahead by 33 seats. How about in 2005? Democrats were ahead by 7 seats. What's going on right now? It's actually Republicans. Actually, Republicans with more net pickup chances.
Let's go.
At plus 12, according to the Cook Political Report, when you add in the likelies, the leans, and the toss-up races. So it's not just on the generic ballot where Democrats are behind their 2017 and 2005 pace. It's actually when it comes seat by seat, you see that, at least at this particular point, Republicans actually have more net pickup opportunities. This doesn't look anything like those wave elections back in 2006 or 2018.
If it doesn't look anything like those years, what does it look like?
Okay, so what does it look like? Well, let's take a look back at the generic congressional ballot. What was going on in Ipsos in October of 2024? Democrats were ahead by 2 points. Look at where we are now. Democrats ahead by 2 points among registered voters. At this particular point, this election cycle looks a lot more like 2024 than it does than either 2018 or 2006. And so, of course, Republicans actually held onto the House back in 2024. Will it happen this time around? We'll just have to wait and see. But for anyone who's writing the Republican House's political obituaries, hold the phone. This is a reality check. Republicans are still very much in the game.
I told you guys, the wins are here, and Trump, again, we're showing you across the board, even with the J.D. Vance, our boy, coming in for the tiebreaker of the Doge cuts that the White House sent over for the first rescissions package. J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote, $9 billion in cuts, including USAID losing $8 billion and NPR and PBS losing $1 billion. This is massive, guys, because again, too, we've got a ton of pit bulls that are fighting in Congress to do what? To expose the fraud, the waste, the abuse. And just like this, guys, they're not holding up. And I love it. If you appreciate this, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check this out.
Joining us now for more, Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. Mr. Chairman, good to see you.
Good to be with you.
We've talked about this. The Constitution pretty darn clear that only the President of the United States has the power to pardon people. But Joe Biden just admitted to the New York Times that he was part of a team of multiple people that took part in this process. He would basically delegate a pardon, and then his staff would carry it out using this fake pen called an autopen. Where does this all go from here?
Well, yeah, he said there was a process that they had in place, and that he would delegate authority based on certain parameters they'd set up in this whatever this process was. And of course, the background is we know he wasn't up to the task, and that was obvious, even though the press told us all the time he was, and now, of course, they've told us something different, and Jake Tapper's making money off of telling us that there was something different going on. So I think to really pin this down, though, we're probably going to need a whistleblower to come forward. Because if they, people come in and take the fifth, people come in and don't say, people come in and say, yeah, there was the process, and we all knew that this was in place, and the president set up the parameters. Short of a whistleblower, I think it's tough, but I do think, again, this whole thing just underscores how the left operates. The left will tell a lie. Joe Biden was just fine. Mainstream media will report the lie. Big tech will amplify the lie.
This guy was
and then
asleep.
when you tell the truth, they call you names. And no one knew this better than Laura Trump when Jake Tapper called her all kinds of names on the show for her pointing out the truth. And now, of course, the irony is Jake Tapper has switched positions, saying, oh, yeah, he wasn't capable of handling the job all along, and there was a cover-up. So, but I think we need a whistleblower to come forward.
So you think they're going to get away with it?
I think it's just tough to prove it, particularly, I mean, the witness, according to Chairman Comer last week, when the witness they brought in, the doctor, he took the fifth, is what the chairman said. So, yeah, I just think it's tough, but I think we continue to dig, and who knows, maybe someone will come to, you know what, I know so-and-so was given a pardon, and they didn't meet the parameters, and Joe Biden never, and short of that, I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, just the fact that this notion that Joe Biden was going over these 4,000 plus pardons at 9 and 10 o'clock at night when we know that
That's a lie. And again, too, guys, I'm showing you the receipts of what Trump is doing on his side. Right here, officials expect the White House counsel's office to review more than 1 million documents related to the Biden's use of the autopen. So again, guys, Trump's not holding back. They're going full force on this. But again, too, it's all to the legal team. Trying to get Congress. Congress has already put the person, the doctor, he pleaded the fifth. What's the next steps? Well, you have to find more evidence to hold him accountable. There's no way that anybody will ever be able to trust in our institution if somebody doesn't go to jail over the autopen, because it's not for anybody, it's for the president. And not anybody can just use it. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Denise Clark, Custom Art, thank you so much for the super chat. OG of the channel. Said transparency is important with Epstein, but getting our finances in order should be top priority and by getting the wasted money back to the American taxpayers. Amen. Y'all show Denise Clark some love in the chat, guys. Too much people have suffered because they couldn't afford groceries or their bills, or they couldn't afford their prescriptions, and we need to make sure financially our people in America are taken care of 100%.
he was, asleep. He was only good between 10 and 4 p.m. It's not likely. Can I ask you why the New York Times didn't release the audio from the interview? It reminds me of Robert Hur. It's a 10-minute long interview, Mr. Chairman. Why not just let the American people hear what he said for themselves?
That is funny you bring that up, because we went to court trying to get the audio tape from the special counsel when they interviewed the president. And they tried to claim that there was some kind of privilege, even though they'd released the transcript. We're like, well, you can't have it both ways here. So, yeah, I think that would be interesting. I hadn't even really put that or thought about that. So, yeah, we'll see. Now, he did sign, my understanding is he did sign one personally. He did sign one pardon personally.
Hunters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When it came to his family, his direct family, his son, he was able to sign that one. It was the other 3,999 or whatever the number was.
Exactly.
That it was not done with his actual signature.
I want to ask you about George Santos. Guilty of a crime, absolutely. I sort of think this guy got a raw deal. Former Republican congressman. He's about to start a 7-year prison sentence, which is ridiculous for a first-time offender for what he did. Biden DOJ. He starts it in like 2 weeks. Should Donald Trump consider pardoning your former colleague?
Well, I think, I mean, I like George. I thought he was, just a wonderful, nice guy. Now, he obviously did some things wrong, but I leave that up to the president. Again, the pardon power is a power exclusively with the president of the United States. It is broad. It resides in him, and he can exercise it however he darn well wants. But to the point with Joe Biden, he's got to be the one making the decision, of course. I leave that up to the president. I trust his judgment. And George was a guy that I thought nice guy. Obviously made some mistakes, but was a good member when he was here, and actually voted very conservatively when he was a member of the House.
Yeah, let me play you a soundbite. This is one of your colleagues on the other side of the aisle talking about this Epstein situation. Take a listen.
I'm going to be asking Chairman Jordan to call for a hearing where we subpoena the Attorney General and Dan Bongino and Kash Patel to come in and tell us everything that we know, because this thing is really spinning out of control at this point, and there's one way to put it to rest, which is to come clean, as President Trump promised he would during the campaign.
Chairman, it might be the first time I've ever agreed with Jamie Raskin. Are you going to be doing that? Could you see Judiciary subpoenaing Pam Bondi or Bongino or Kash or anybody else?
Well, we're not going to subpoena the Attorney General.
Invite them to testify or talk about this whole thing?
Oh, yeah, they will. We're going to invite them.
All right, guys, you just heard it. He knows they're not going to subpoena Pam Bondi or Kash Patel or Dan Bongino to come testify about what's going on. You already know that these people have taught, because Jim Jordan's a big guy in Congress. But Speaker Mike Johnson has said that he supports Ghislaine Maxwell testifying to Congress over the Epstein and demands the DOJ release everything that they have on Epstein. The problem is that if this gets big, I mean, it is already big enough, and people and Trump's ratings are actually tanking with what Rasmussen has told us, that he's down 12 points since all this whole Epstein stuff has started. It'll get to a point where we will have to do something to make sure to build back the trust in America, that when Trump promised to release everything pertaining to Epstein, he's actually going to do it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because again, too, we want to show you across the board, leaders, what they're saying, all this, because this is massive, and this could, I hate to say it, but derail the midterms if it doesn't get controlled.
Whether this issue was here or not.
Because you know where I'm going with this, Mr. Chairman. This is not going to go away for the White House.
They come every year, and so we're already working on when the Attorney General.
Again, guys, and it's stuff like this. I'm showing you everything that's happening because it's all happening in real time. I'm not going to hold back from you of bringing you the breaking news of what's going on. President Trump just said this. I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'm just reporting the news. I'm bringing you the breaking news as it's happening because, again, people want transparency. They want to see people go to jail over this crap. How many people were that Jeffrey Epstein, we knew there were celebrities, we knew there was politicians, we knew there was elitists involved with what he did, which was horrible and disgusting. People want to see people go to jail. This is what people would consider a two-tier system, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because this is not a good look, and it does not put trust into Americans. Let me know.
The director of the FBI, they come in front of the Judiciary Committee, regardless of who's in power, who's in the White House, what administration is. They come in front of the Judiciary Committee typically once every year. So we're already working with those, with both of their offices to schedule that sometime this year. That will definitely happen. Yeah. And I think that's appropriate. I mean, you know, that's just how our government works. But I do have all the confidence in the world in President Trump and his team when it comes to all kinds of issues, including this. So, but yeah, I do think the American people want to know. But I have confidence in President Trump and his team, and we're already working on scheduling them for their annual trek up to Capitol Hill, where they fill in the Judiciary Committee on all kinds of issues, including this one.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, great to see you. Congressman Jim.
Guys, again, too, we're just bringing you the breaking news as it's happening. There's just so much going on. Again, I want to show you what, because Trump's really adamant that he wants to put this behind us, and he's saying that it's all a hoax. Trump said that the Democrats' new scam is what we will forever call, this is in red, the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this BS, hook, line, and sinker. And then he just came out and said, I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. I disagree. I'm sorry, guys. I disagree. I feel like when thousands of children were, you know, what happened to them. We've all heard by celebrities, elitists, politicians. We all know they're all involved, that there was a lot of people involved that were of that stature. To me, that's not boring stuff. And I don't think it's going to go away. And I think if we don't do something about it, then it's going to hurt us in the midterms and we will lose. And why Trump is saying this, he knows something. Either he knows that it's been doctored, it's been messed up, but right now it's taking away from his wins, just like what we showed you earlier here. Like, guys, this is a win like nobody's business right here. Getting this across the board, the Doge cuts, official, J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote, $9 billion in cuts, including USAID, NPR and PBS losing $1 billion. This is massive, even when it comes to this right here, that the PPI inflation falls to 2.3%, beating expectations of all 50 forecasters in Bloomberg's survey. Like win after win after win when it comes to the economy, when it comes to the money that's touching our pockets. But again, too, to me, the deep state is the swamp. It's bad. We all know it's bad. It's been bad for a long time. It's how we got to this spot of $37 trillion in national debt, is because there's a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. There's over $300 billion in Medicare fraud a year when it comes to illegal aliens, when it comes to fraud, waste, abuse, and people are tired of it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, because if we don't get to the truth in some form or fashion, it's not going to look good for the GOP. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Want to say, if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We want to take care of you every day with the breaking news, guys. We don't pull any punches. We show you everything. We want to be fully transparent on this channel and make sure that you are fully informed. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers and subscribers and members. Guys, you are so awesome. We couldn't do this without you. We right now, in a couple of days, are going to be donating live on stream to a local children's home. Guys, this is beautiful, because when you are a member or you give a super chat, we give this money to a local charity, and we've given thousands upon thousands of dollars with your support. We don't have to do this, but I want this channel to be known for more than just bringing the truth. I want it to be known for changing lives and bringing positive change in this world, guys. I want to give some love to Denise Clark, Custom Art in the chat, Fred Samuel, Robert Cash, Della Cole, Mike Sovshinsky, Paulette Laster, Man Samsung, Jocelyn Street, Tiffany Yen, Karen C. Ford, thank you so much for the super chat. Said medical records, which are considered PHI under HIPAA, can be subpoenaed as part of legal discovery or other court proceedings. For Biden, yes. Guys, y'all show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for liking and sharing our videos. We are truly grateful for your support. Remember, we're here to serve you. We love and appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.